Hi, my name is Austin Peterman, and today I'll be talking about the sound design from The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is the second movie in the Christopher Nolan series of Batman movies. For those of you that don't know what Batman is, it's a movie about a comic book hero named Batman. He wears a cape and kind of looks like a bat. And in this film, the Batman encounters a character called the Joker, who in this universe of Gotham is a gangster terrorist type who just wants to cause as much chaos in Gotham as he can because he wants the people of Gotham to realize how evil they are, and he wants humanity to realize how evil it is. All the meanwhile, Batman is basically trying to save the day, try and hunt down the Joker, and try and put a stop to all of it. So the sound design in this movie, the style that I would call it would be it's very realistic and subtle and gritty, just like the whole entire movie is. That's kind of the theme of the Dark Knight trilogy, is that it takes this kind of these comic book characters and puts them in a realistic atmosphere and makes it a realistic kind of thing. It bridges the gap between the magic and uniqueness of comic books and the reality of human life. And I think that's what makes the film so effective. And the sound design goes a long way in doing that because, for one thing, the sound design does a really good job of being subtle so as to not get in the way of things that are important, like the characters, like the story, like the themes. And secondly, it keeps the character or keeps the viewers locked in and feeling the reality of the situation because it's so realistic and it doesn't try and over exaggerate or do too much. Um, the scene that I'm going to show you guys tonight is actually the opening scene of the film. It's where the Joker takes a group of rogues that he's made his henchmen and has them go and rob a bank, and he's got a plan up his sleeve that you're going to see in the scene. If you haven't seen the film yet, you should. It's really good. Um, and what I took away from the scene, sound design wise, is for one thing, you're going to hear that every single gun that's used in the scene, and there's multiple different types of guns. There's an automatic, there's a silenced pistol, and there's a machine gun, or not a machine gun, there's a shotgun. And you're going to hear that all three of them have a distinct sound, which sounds something that would be obvious, but I think in this film they do a really good job of matching the gun to what it's supposed to sound like in real life. You're going to notice with the silenced gun, it's very muted and dull, and it makes sense that people wouldn't hear that bullet go off in the context. And then I think the most important sound in the scene is the shotgun because we talk about how sound can tell a story. Once the shotgun is actually not used by any of the gangsters, it's used by the bank owner, and the bank owner is using the shotgun to take down the henchmen. And in the scene, the shotgun, when it goes off, it's significantly louder and more explosive than the pistol or the machine gun. So you get the sense that the one who has the shotgun is now the one in charge. So it's a major shift in the scene that you're given hints to by the sound design. When the shotgun fires through a glass wall, you can hear the glass shattering and breaking seconds after the initial impact happened to show you the power of the shotgun. So that's really significant. I'm going to put that in the comments below so you can go to that video. Go and check it out. It's almost 5 minutes long. You can probably get away with just listening to 3 to 4 minutes. And then we had talked about previously in sound design about the polish when it comes to guns. So with all these guns firing off, you can hear the bullets kind of clink and fall to the ground, and you can hear how each one impacts different surfaces differently, and it's got a ton of polish and really adds to the realisticness of the scene. In researching how these sounds are made, initially I thought that in a movie like this, they probably used a lot of post-processing, a lot of effects, and you can hear a lot of stuff with the vocals constantly changing ambience and moving around based on the area that they're in. That it makes me think that it was probably ADR, and a lot of post-processing. And same with the guns. I figured it was multiple different sounds that they were using. I come to find out that actually the sound design for this movie is very organic. They did use ADR, but they actually were initially going to use it for pretty much everybody, but they were so enamored with the Joker's performance, Heath Ledger, R.I.P., um, that they actually just used his dialogue always from the scene he was in. They also did that sort of as a tribute for his passing. And I thought that was really interesting that his performance was so good that he was able to that they were able to use his regular dialogue. In addition, they actually, in order to keep it organic, used a ton of the actual production sounds that they captured from a lot of the fight scenes. A lot of the impact sound effects were all very real. The guns were special effect guns that they used to capture those sound effects, which in the end I thought it was really interesting the way they kind of did that, where they obviously had to go and do the reinstituting of the sound effects, like the bullets and things like that. But for some of the stuff that you would consider the most important, they stuck true to with the sounds, and especially with what the Joker did. And I thought that was really interesting. Um, yeah, I think that's it. It's a really good movie. Everybody should see it, and thought the sound design was really good. Okay, bye.